We will start with our presentation, but before that, as you know, as maybe you know, it was announcement. Today we will talk deeply about how art connected with war, and we will have like two special guest speakers. We will introduce them later, so like be till the end. And now I guess I should give floor to Irina. She will start usually from the our newsletter.
Great.
Thank you, Danka. Hello, everyone. Let me share some news with you. So the first item of news is about, you probably remember this information that there is a Russian military officer who is standing in front of court for killing a weaponless a civilian in Sumy Oblast in Ukraine. And actually, there was a sentence for him. He got jailed for life for this murder. And the judge, Sergei Akhonov, said, even though the defendant said he did not intend to kill, the court does not trust these claims and believes there was an intent. And actually, two more cases are being presented in a Ukrainian court in Poltava region. So these are just pieces of the puzzle that will help Ukrainian lawyers to prove that Russia is committing genocide against Ukrainian people, because a genocide presumes an intent. Okay, the next slide, please. So according to President Zelensky's words, Russia has launched 2,275 missiles and conducted over 3,000 airstrikes since the start of its all-out war against Ukraine. Today, there was information that Kharkiv was under shelling and with at least 7 people dead and 17 injured, including 1 child. The city of Mykolaiv holds on through Russian bombardment and experiences the lack of drinking water. Even though Russian forces were thrown back from Mykolaiv by the Ukrainian army, the city has not yet returned to its normal life. The shelling continues and major businesses are shut down and ports aren't operating. And in the photo below, you can see people in Mykolaiv standing in line to get some drinking water. Also, Russia attacked the city of Zaporizhia with 4 missiles. People heard several explosions in the city on the 25th of May. And 1 person was killed and 3 more were injured in the attack. The city of Kryvyi Rih was also attacked with 3 missiles. And Russian forces hit a factory which sustained serious damage. The casualties are being calculated, so there is no information right now. Russia is trying to move forward in the east of Ukraine, and there are numerous civilian casualties in Severodonetsk and Bakhmut. And in Luhansk region, there is no gas and there is no water supplies. The residents are still cut off from electricity, as the officials say. Okay, the next slide, please. CNN reports that satellite images appear to show Russian ships loading Ukrainian grain in Crimea. 2 Russian flagged ships at port of Sevastopol are loading something that is reportedly stolen Ukrainian grain. Ukraine has previously accused Russia of stealing several hundreds of thousands tons of grain. They stole it from Kherson and now are loading it on their ships to sell it somewhere in Russia or to other countries. Also, Russia steals foods, vegetables and fruit from the occupied Kherson region to sell those foods at Crimean markets. The next slide, please. Kalish Orchestra have announced an auction on the, it was done on the 25th of May. The group's lead vocalist, Oleg Psuk, will sell his famous Panama hat, the pink Panama hat with his signature, and also the Eurovision trophy that they got as this year's winners of Eurovision. And the money that will come from this auction will be given to the needs of the Ukrainian army. The auction will end on the 28th of May at 7 p.m. Ukrainian time. The next slide, please. Oh, that was all. Thank you very much for your attention.
May I interrupt only for a few seconds about the last news? Can you see me?
Yes,
sorry,
you may
can you hear me?
proceed. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And thank you, Irina.
It's a very important thing. It's not a simple auction. The winner is the one who will donate the biggest quantity of exact amount. So you pay if you want to win it. You have to pay and pay and pay and pay to well, exactly donate to this organization. And in fact, all money will go to this organization and will help Ukraine. So even if you don't win this auction, you will be one of those who help Ukraine. And this is the thing why I love this idea, because no matter if you win, you are helping people.
Very, very creative. Thank you for explaining. That wasn't clear, because it's not typically done with auctions that way. So that's very creative thinking. All right, thank you so much. And thank you once again, Irina. Back to you, Danka.
Yeah, next slide, I guess it's from Oksana.
Yes, yes, it's me. So good evening, everyone. And today I would like to share some international news and our concerns related to this. Recently, we observed a number of warning signs from world political leaders, journalists, opinion leaders, which made it clear that Russian regime keeps using all possible tools, including their preferred threats and propaganda, to pressure international community to stop supporting Ukraine. And here, there are just those most prominent, in our opinion, examples. The first one is the article published in the New York Times on 19th of May, which suggests that the war with Russia is not in the interest of the US. Further, they consider that during the negotiations with Russia, Ukraine has to make difficult territorial decisions in order to reach any compromise. Territorial decisions is basically giving up our sovereignty, something that, according to the newspaper, can be negotiated. Another thing is the 4 steps plan to seal peace in Ukraine from Italy. This is the Italian plan that was presented by the foreign minister, Luigi Di Maio, during the interview with the UN Secretary General, again on 19th of May. The first step, according to this plan, is a ceasefire, obviously, then the multilateral negotiations on Ukraine's future international status, and in particular on the possible condition of neutrality of Kiev. And the third point concerns the definition of the bilateral agreement between Russia and Ukraine on, again, territorial issues previously occupied by Russia, Donbass and Crimea. Here, according to Luigi Di Maio, many variables would come into play: borders, sovereignty, territorial control, the legislative and constitutional provisions of that areas. Finally, the fourth stage with the regards the reorganization of relationship between the European Union and Moscow. Again, Ukrainian sovereignty is on stake while relations with Russia is prioritized. And last but not least, on 9th of May, Emmanuel Macron made a remark that EU is not at war with Russia and warned the world leaders against humiliating Putin. Later, in an interview with Italy's public broadcaster RIA, Ukrainian President Zelensky was asked to comment the words of Macron. And he replied that Macron had asked Ukraine to make concession as regards its sovereignty to help Russian leader Vladimir Putin to save face. He also added that we won't help Putin save face by paying with our territory. Looking at all these claims, we can clearly see the shift of the opinion worldwide towards the possible solutions to the genocide war in Ukraine. We are voicing now the question Ukrainians ask these days. Can the sovereignty and the lives of thousands of Ukrainians on the occupied territories be the price of peace? We saw the horrors in Bucha after we managed to liberate it. Shall we ever see what is going on in Mariupol, Kherson, and many other occupied towns? Do the lives of those people who are yet alive in those territories cost basically nothing? It is clear that Russia made its move on the international arena and managed to influence the opinion of certain political leaders. But we believe that there is a force that is stronger than Russian threats: people. People can make a difference. People can make actions to awake the politicians and remind them what they put on stake. And as UPG Ukrainian ambassadors, we cannot stay aside on this information war, and we are asking for help. These days, we discussed a lot the current situation on the international arena, and now we are asking you to share your ideas on the forum on what we can do now to preserve the world from making a huge mistake again. Thank you very much, and I'm giving the floor to my colleagues.
Thank
you,
you,
Oksana.
Oksana. Yeah, and after this shortly newsletter and Oksana's speech, we will go actually for topic of our today's meeting. It's about how war connected with art. I guess you already saw some actually of these murals. Actually, they were painted abroad in the Czech Republic, in Poland, and also in France. And it's actually the case how Ukraine are popular like now, not only among Ukrainians artists, but also abroad. Personally, I like so much this one with President Zelensky and this, like, how to say, блискавка, charm, like in Harry Potter.
Lightning.
Da, Alexa?
Lightning.
Lighting, yeah, it's just lighting like in Harry Potter, like Zelensky as Harry Potter. It's like from our artist in Poland. Next slide, maybe. Yeah, Harry Potter. Yeah, and actually, it's really hard, like, for me to like choose only few initiatives how artists help Ukraine, but we chose like this one. They are from abroad. Actually, the first one which you could see, it's United Photographers for Ukraine. It's an initiative from Italian magazine, and together with I guess 100 photographers, they organize this campaign. And the thing is that you could buy a photo of one of the famous photographer by making the donation to support Ukraine. And on their social media, they actually yesterday published the data that they collected 234 euros by this initiative, and this money they gave to the firstly it was Ohmodit, like one of the most biggest hospital in Ukraine. They gave this money also for such initiative which we mentioned in our previous session. This is NGO Reporters Without Borders. oh, sorry, not reporters, doctors without borders, and also to Ukrainian Red Cross. Another initiative is Ptashka. In Ukraine, it translated like a bird. It's like similar initiatives also from photographers. It's from a non-profit organization, ERE. And the thing is that you could download like image from famous photographer, like for any donation for Ukrainians. Yeah. And another initiatives, it's about sunflowers from our friends in Great Britain. Yeah, so the thing is that sunflower like is one of symbol of Ukraine, and one of British craft house. They producing these like sunflower needles quilting craft kit, and 50% they donate like for Ukraine. Actually, by donating to the Red Cross in Britain, that they and then they pass this money like for helping Ukraine. Another initiative is like digital patterns, or also this like kind of brochures. You can also buy them, and by donating for Ukraine. And next slide. It's my yeah. Also, there is initiative in Canada by donating by donating $27, you will have access to like some sessions connected with art. So it's like initiative when you will have like a profit for yourself, but in another way you also help Ukraine, and they then all donation they pass to Canadian Red Cross, and this Canadian Red Cross has like specialized emote for Ukrainian for Ukraine. Actually, you can see in this picture that their aim is to collect $10,000, and they already like have like the half of this amount. So if you want to go deeply, we also will send presentation for you and share it in forum, and you could follow the link and check these all initiatives. Yeah, and next slide, I guess it will be last from me. Yeah, it's like my favorite one. Actually, it would really hard for me to choose like some photography which could show like the war in Ukraine, because many journalists come to Ukraine to make a picture. Many like photographers who are artists, they also shared. And the thing is that it's really a bit harder to them work. For example, because painter, she could like sit at home and paint picture, but when you are professional photographer, you should go directly to the place in order to take this picture, like in order to like show this picture what is happening in Ukraine. And here we choose only few. It's like there are both Ukrainians photographer who directly work in hotspots. Hotspots. And also there is international photographers. they come to Ukraine in order to make this photography. And it's the background. You can see, yeah, maybe any guesses, because last time you you was successful in guesses. Any guesses where this picture was taken from our Yemi? I guess you know, but maybe someone from our another guest could have any ideas.
There's a very big hint if you look closely.
Yeah. It's easy, guys. Just like you can see with that it's connected with metal.
Hey, sorry, was it taken in the steel plant? Is it Avasto? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Avasto.
Yeah. As I signed it, that's why it was so a little bit easier. Yeah, there is like at the corner, right corner, you can see that the name of the photographer, and he take
Oh,
it's
yes. Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's photo from Dmytro Kozatsky, or him call name is Orest. He is like photographer of Azov regiment, and this photo was taken in Azovstal. And I saw this photo in his like Instagram page, and there was a comment from him that I will say this, Azovstal, this is place of my life and of my death. Yeah. And for now, this is like not the last. I don't want to say not the last, but I don't want to say that it is the last.
For now.
Yeah, photo in him Instagram. Jak?
For now, the last for now.
Okay, the last for now. This is photo in his Instagram, and the thing is that Metro is captured by Russian troops, and he is on occupied territory as another defenders of Azovstal. Yeah, so for that case, you can see how art and how work connected. Actually, he is militant and he defends our country, but at the same time, he is photographer who show like the war for whole worlds. And you can check the Instagram pages and see more. Alexa, maybe you could mouse.
One remark, just one remark. I believe he wrote this. He took these pictures, these photos, and he shared these photos, and he said, wrote, I don't want money for my photo, just share information about Azovstal.
Yeah, and Alexa, maybe like by mouse click wise, not click but show wise him profile, not вище. Yeah. This one, yeah. You can check it in Instagram. Yeah, but and guys, that's why we call you. Remember about Azovstal, and as Alexa said, share information and share like these photos also about Azovstal. Yes, that's all from me, and now we will go to our guest speakers. Nata, maybe you could introduce.
Yes,
Oh,
sure.
no, I forgot one important slide. It's really important. Oh no, it's also as usual we call you make action, guys. And here is there are different ways how you can help Ukraine, not only by donation, by like email your local politicians, by join rallies, by sign a petition, and by creating your own initiative. For example, last week there was really great initiatives from Philemon. He organized campaign to collecting money actually for Ukraine, like by as a present for his birthday. So if you have any ideas, any initiatives, guys, just do it. Yeah. And now actually I go floor to Nata. Give.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Danka. And
Thank you, Danka.
hello, everyone. Can I go? Yes.
Please, Nata, go ahead.
Sure. Okay, thank you, Yana. So yes, hello everyone again. Every time, as you mentioned, we are trying to find our each session very unique. Nevertheless, we are talking about this difficult topic, about different situations which might be difficult personally for us and for the whole world as well. But still, we are trying to make it attractive to you as well, and interesting and very informative. So this time we devoted our session to the art through war. This was the name of our session, and of course we have so many people influenced by this war, and artists are some of these people. And today we have our two guest speakers, Yulia Polyakova and Natalia Korf-Ivanyuk. They are Ukrainian artists. Each of them, they are working in their own genre, yes, their own art area, and they will introduce themselves and will say how this war influenced their personal lives as well as it influenced their art, yes, how they produce their paintings, what motivated them, how they struggle as the Ukrainians. So Yulia will be the first one, and Yulia is speaking English, so I will not translate her. You will just hear her story, and afterwards Natalia will join and I will translate her. So Yulia, please go ahead, the floor is yours.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you well, Julia.
Okay. For me, it is first time communicating in such way, so yeah.
We hear you perfectly. We see you perfectly.
Okay. Good evening to everyone. My name is Julia Polyakova, and I am an artist. I am in Chicago now, so for me it is morning, and for you, good evening. When the war started, I was in Egypt with my husband on our honeymoon because on the 22nd of February we got married in the church, and on the 23rd we flew to Egypt, and 24th the war started, and we woke up from the calls from Kiev, and it was like a surreal dream, this event that happened 24th. I will not describe my condition and all the troubles that we faced in order to fly at least somewhere from Egypt, because sure, I can't compare my problems with the problems of the people who stayed in Ukraine. Yes, I was safe, and I'm safe at the moment, but it is physical and psychological state was serious, and because my parents and friends stayed in Kiev, and whole my life was for the paintings, everything, and you know, so it's about all my work over the past 7 years, and this is about maybe 300 or maybe 400 paintings so it's that it can simply be destroyed and disappear. This was very hard for me, and very hard. Yeah. Now, of course, I'm more calm, and because Kiev now is a better and safer situation than at the beginning of the war. Because when everything begins, it seems that that this is the end. Now, I think no, it's not the end. It is the beginning of something new. Before the war, I did combine works in direction of nude. That is, I made a combination of photo collage, computer graphics, and oil painting, something like mix. We call it mixed media. And after the war, the first pictures that I made, I did from my phone when I was in Egypt, because I can't just do nothing. I saw people suffering, and I wanted to help somehow. And of course, if I am an artist, I think that I should do it in my own way. So I did a few works in a simple program like Paint in computer, and one of them was sold on the NFT auction for support of Ukrainian army. And of course, content of paintings changed, because before the war it was more light pictures with easy what can I name? Easy pictures. Girls in different poses, no very important sense. And after the war, I wanted to show more deep painting, maybe the true face of the war, and but a little part of erotism stays, because you know, it attracts attention very better than another genres, and it can attract attention to more deeper topics. Previously, for example, in light nude stories, I wrote topics of religion, relationships between people, some philosophical questions, topics of about life after death, and of course now the main topic is war. In general, after the first works, I realized that no matter how strange it it may sound, but erotism and violence are very well combined. I even don't know why, but then I remembered that many painters, for example, like Rubens or so on, they use nude goddess and violence and mix it together. But of course, the motivation to continue creating did not appear immediately. Apparently, after I accepted that I'm not in Kiev, that I can't not return and can't help there, because my first things were to go to Kiev in any way. But then, of course, I decided that it is not very smart to do that. And since I'm here in America, I have to do what I can, and that's all. I think that what I personally can do now, I can show the world what is happening and leave a memory of this war, and people should not forget it. And I think the mission of author is to make the crimes of Russia unforgettable for history, because time passed, years passed, and this war, this genocide should stay in history and people's mind. And even in many years after victory, and I believe in our victory, sure, Vox will remind every participant or silent compliance of the genocide of the Ukrainian people, who they are and where they belong. So first, when I went to America, the first thing, I went to America because I with my husband, we had visas, and it was only country where we can go and stay somewhere except Kyiv. So when I got to America, first thing I did was to use all the money to buy a laptop to continue working. There were no special ideas, but at the beginning of the war, there were a lot of events, and reading in the news in the morning, looking at photos, and thoughts came. Many stories will probably not be shown in this presentation because there's a lot of blood and dead Russian soldiers. I never thought that it could be inspiring, but this is the time, and such is war. And I put up Vox on social networks, and for many of my friends, they were motivating, and it was important for me because I feel that I do some important thing to motivate people. I think now it's important also. And especially much attention was paid to the works with dead Putin, Lukashenko, and Kadyrov. People like visualize these topics, I think. But you know, when I saw news from Bucha, it was more than months ago, it was so shocked that I can't maybe create nothing in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, because I thought that I can't create something so powerful to show this. But time passed and life went on, and I decided to try to buy a canvas and make few works here in America. And I brought them to the Museum of Modern Ukrainian Art in Chicago. The first pictures were with Putin and blood and so on, and maybe it was too much for them, but also they look at these pictures that you showed, they asked me to do this one, and now it is in the museum and will hopefully be sold as a charity auction in support of Ukrainians. I'm lucky that here is a place to live in America, because now I don't earn money at all. My husband earns a little, but I just paint and watch news, and that's all. And it will sound strange, but now my husband and I will live with his previous wife, with her new boyfriend, children, mother who came from Kyiv, like I don't know, big Mormon family. But now, of course, there is a situation that has brought us together, and we help each other. And thanks to those people, I have the opportunity to create, and this is the most important for me now. And of course, important that my friends and parents are safe in Kyiv now, and pictures are safe. And I believe in victory very much, and I believe in fate. Yeah, this picture I made one of the first, and it was about sunflower season, you know, when people say that the Russian soldiers should put some seeds of sunflowers in the pockets to have a good season next year. Yeah, what about saying? About the nuclear war. Fatalist, and I was always joking that if nuclear war will be and our civilization will be destroyed, the next civilization will find my paintings in the deep bunker. But hope there is only silly things, and Ukrainian will win. Nuclear war won't begin, and Russian army will be destroyed. Russian empire will be destroyed, and I'm waiting for them. That I think when it started, and I hope it will be soon. I will buy popcorn and just watch that with another millions of people who are waiting for that moment. Want to say thank you for everyone for attention, and if you have some questions or don't have, or I don't know what I should do next.
Yeah, thank you, Julia. Thank you so much. Actually, I think that people can write you in chat. You can see the chat, and if there are any questions, you can answer, or maybe at the end of the session, you will have some time to answer the questions.
Thank you for invitation and opportunity to tell my story to people.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Can we just show Julia some love as we always do? Can we please? She's not used to zooming, so I'm sure she will appreciate seeing all the hearts light up on the screen. Julia, can you see the hearts on the screen? Or you can't? Let me see if I can make that easier for you. I know. Let's get rid of spotlights. All right, people, let's light up the screen so she can see it more easily. Can you see them now?
Yeah, I see. Wow.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing and for also getting quite personal with what you shared.
Thank you. Have a good evening, and see you.
Thank you. No, please stay with us. There are going to be questions. So we will open the floor. And so you might get a question from someone in the audience. Okay. So please stay with us.
I just switch off the camera and I will see the chat. Yeah.
Yes, of course. And then you can switch it back on when you want to speak.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. All right. So back to you, Nata. Where do we go now?
Now I will introduce Natalia. As far as I understand, she's already with us. And Natalia will speak Ukrainian. I will translate her. And we will also have some slides with her paintings, and she will share her story. You can see them on the screen already.
Great. Thank you.
Hello.
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 О, Наталю, ти з нами? Ти починай, говори просто потрошки речення, я тебе буду перекладати, так, щоб не багато зараз.
Перше, вибачте за те, що я не можу там розмовляти так вільно, як Юлія, англійською. Вибачайся від мене, але я буду намагатися казати не дуже.
Natalia is just apologizing for not speaking English, but this is fine, this is totally fine, so don't worry.
Запитую, що мені потрібно розповідати.
Просто розкажи про цю свою серію робіт, про цих ангелів твоїх чорних. От, можеш розповісти свою особисту історію війни. Там далі будуть слайди також з твоїми картинами. От, що тебе надихнуло на це?
Слухай, все сталося таким чином, що 24 числа, коли відбулося неминуче, перше, що я поклала у валізу, коли збиралася їхати із висотнього будинку до частного сектора, перше, що я поклала у валізу, це була фарба, це був папір і пензлі. Тобто це 100%. Я ніскільки не брешу, бо так воно і справді і було. Валіза в нас була не зібрана, я туди поклала матеріали, бо це...
Стоп, треба перекладати. Okay, so Natalia is starting with her story, with her personal story, which is very similar to each of us, I mean, for us Ukrainians, that when the war started on the 24th of February, she said that the first things she packed to her suitcase was brush, paper and paintings, because she an artist and she was moving from the blocked building with the apartments to the private house to stay in this house. So she packed her stuff and she put her painting stuff with her.
Я просто зрозуміла, що, можливо, це єдине, що може залишитись у мене із робіт взагалі. Бо тоді було незрозуміло, що буде в Києві відбуватися. І я трималася і дорожила тіма 20 листками, і там кілька кольорів. Це була туш, як тобі простіше, чи туш, чи акварель скажеш. Це було єдине на той момент, що залишилось у мене від 20 років творчої роботи.
And Natalia is saying that she has been an artist for 20 years, and at those moments at her apartment she had only 20 paintings with her, and she had like 20 papers, yes, and just some paintings, some brushes. So she took it with her immediately because she understood that only these works can survive if she can take with her to her new place.
І на наступний же день, коли почалися регулярні повітряні тривоги, щоб якось себе розрадити, заспокоїти і емоційно не впадати в паніку, єдине, що я могла тоді, єдине, що мене рятувало в той момент, емоційно, перш за все, це малювання. І на наступний же день у мене почалася ця серія під назвою «Чорні янголи», щоб якось себе емоційно спасти просто в цій ситуації.
Yes, and she's explaining that even on the next day, the air sirens were among the Kiev, so she listened to all of this, she heard the sounds, these terrible sounds, and painting and this process of painting, it was only one process which could help her with her feelings, with her emotions, because it was very hard for her to stay in this situation, and yes, it saved her emotionally.
Чому взагалі тема відродження? Тоді я в той момент і зараз я відчуваю, що весь цей жах, який відбувається, він для мене, тема взагалі, мабуть, краще так сказати, що тема відродження для мене це таке, знаєш, сфумато або симбіоз гармонії, краси і чогось жахливого, як і ця вся ситуація, яка зараз відбувається в Україні.
And actually, all her paintings, this topic is covered by the name like Black Angels, and it's related to the Renaissance period. And why Renaissance? Because there are like the combination of good and bad, of black and white, yes, and which can be all together, which was happening the same in real time in Ukraine at that time. So this inspired Natalia to go back to Renaissance period.
Я взяла за основу роботи всесвітньо відомих майстрів епохи відродження і трансформувала їх по-своєму. Дивлячись новини, дивлячись кожного дня, просто телевізор не виключався, це було 24/7, все, що відбувається, я транслювала через своє враження та епоху відродження.
And she took as the basis for her paintings the most famous paintings of the Renaissance artists, and she transformed these paintings in her own way, because Natalia is saying that she was watching the TV all the time, like 24 hours a day, watching the news, watching what is happening in our country, and this was a basis for her paintings.
Ось, наприклад, верни перед цим слайд. Зараз я просто скажу просто про самі роботи. Перед цим там було. Назад. Якщо можеш. Можеш?
Так.
Ось, наприклад, перша робота. Тут алегорія Мадонна в оточенні чорних янголів. Ця робота називається «Наближення». Тобто, коли ворог підійшов занадто близько. Тобто, Мадонна як уособлення нашої країни, чорні янголи як уособлення зла. Робота називається «Наближення». Наступна – це Буча, жінки, яких гвалтували нелюди, тобто уособлення, ну ти зрозуміла, чорний янгол і жінка, яку роздирають на частини.
And now Natalia is explaining paintings on the slide you can see. So the first one is related to Madonna, which is surrounded by the black angels, and the name of the painting is approaching.
Занадто близько. Ворог
Так. So the name of the painting is approaching, and you can see that the angels are so close, and it means that our enemy was so close to Ukrainians. So this is an allegory. And the second painting you can see, it's about like kind of Bucha, what was happening in Bucha, because many women were raped. And here you can see that this black angel is attacking this woman. And again, Natalia put this sense in this painting.
Ну, можеш наступне, да.
Yeah, go next.
Це присвята Маріуполю, називається «Дорогою ціною». Це Соломея, ну, якщо це класична робота, то це Соломея з головою Іоанна Хрестителя. Я не знаю, як ти це переведеш. Ну, тобто це такий відкуп дорогою ціною, відкуп наших захисників за свободу і спокій наразі в тих регіонах, де більш-менш спокійно, де ми зараз можемо прокидатися хоча б спокійно. Тобто це алегорія на цю роботу.
Yes, the picture you can see on the left side of the screen is it's about Mariupol, and it's related to some again famous painting. I'm not sure I can translate it correctly because this is the name of the woman which is mentioned here on the picture, but it reminds us that the price which Mariupol has paid for our freedom, yes, and for our safety, which we are like more or less safe now, we need to remember about it, and it is appeared here on this painting.
Ну і так, на протязі майже вже 100 днів, 90 днів війни, я зображувала всі найтрагічніші, найпіковіші моменти в розвитку цієї ситуації. І зараз таким чином народилася серія з 20 цих графічних робіт, які я буду презентувати в цю суботу, на День Києва.
Yes, and actually the coming Saturday, which will be the day of Kiev, it's like the following Saturday, Natalia will present all her 20 works which were created during this period. She created 20 paintings, and she created this series of black angels. And actually, yes, during the whole war, like during 90 days, over 90 days, she was creating all these pictures, all these paintings.
Ну, кажи, що ще розказувати, бо я...
Ну, це, в принципі, останній слайд твій, тобто можеш, якщо по цих картинах щось сказати.
Це присвята жінка-воїн, тобто це така осучаснена Суламів з головою Олоферна відрізаною. Жінки наші українські, вони воюють наряду з чоловіками, захищають свою країну. І це, коли стираються ця межа гендерна і заради спільності духу, заради єдності, заради перемоги, це багато чого, це вартує багато чого. Тому ця присвята окремо йде жінкам-воїнам.
And in the middle of the screen on this slide, you can see that there is a woman which is kind of a soldier of the and she is a defender of our country. And Natalia is explaining that not only men are fighting for our country and are fighting for our freedom, but also Ukrainian women, they are fighting. And we need to say about this like gender balance in our army among our defenders. And she devoted this picture to our women defenders. So I think actually that's it from Natalia's side. She explained like the composition of her paintings, how the paintings were created, etc. So actually, like again, the same as to Julia, you can ask Natalia maybe not in chat because she might not answer, but you can ask me, I will translate to her, and you can just talk to both ladies. Thank you so much. Дякую, Наталя.